Hey guys, Tom Barton from TomBartonSports.com here. I got to tell you, we have the conference tournaments here, and I couldn't be more excited. Look, it's the mid-majors conference tournaments that start first, and this is where a lot of people kind of get tripped up. You know, they really do. They get a little, we'll say, ahead of themselves, especially in the sports betting world, where people have not paid attention all year long, right? You haven't really paid attention to the mid-majors. This is something I capitalize on at TomBartonSports.com, and I've been talking about it, and I've been writing about it. I've been making money on the mid-majors all year long. I believe that the mid-majors offer the biggest value, and I've showed that seemingly year after year. You have certain spots where teams just own teams, coaches own coaches, matchup nightmares, problems, even in the conference tournaments, when you're doing something like this, a lot of them in the mid-majors, they're at home, right? And they do go down. We have seen that before, even going down at home. It doesn't add this massive boost, but it certainly is an advantage that we need to take advantage of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it off here. I'm going to go through all the college conference tournament championship odds for the mid-majors. We're going to talk about the mid-majors. I'll give you my picks on all of them. And all I ask you to do, guys, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, tell your friends. We could absolutely use the effort here. Go check me out also at TomBartonSports.com and Tom Barton Sports over on Twitter, or the X that they now call it now. Go check me out, Tom Barton Sports. So look, let's start it off here. I'm going to run through all of them, and then we'll kind of go into each one as we get there. So college basketball conference tournament championship odds. This is presented by Circa and put up there by Circa, okay? You can get them anyway. You can get them at DraftKings. You can get them at FanDuel. I don't want to name them all. Caesars, Bally's, everybody. That you can go out there and you could find these. But these are from Circa just because I saw that Jeffrey Benson put these up first, and I wanted to make sure that I used one standardized. They may fluctuate a little bit, and I absolutely suggest you guys shop around to get the best prices, especially on tournament odds that can be, look, a little bit big money and a big different swing. So we'll start off here in the Sun Belt Conference. James Madison is plus 140. Appalachian State comes in at plus 170. Arkansas State 8-1. Troy 5-1. Louisiana Lafayette plus 1250. South Alabama is plus 5,000. Southern Mississippi plus 6,500 along with Georgia State. Marshall is plus 9,000. Georgia Southern plus 140. Texas plus 150. Texas State, I'm sorry. Old Dominion plus 250. UL Monroe plus 350. And then Coastal Carolina pulling up the rear with a 5 and 4 zeros behind it. Okay, so look, we are not going to jump on commentary, but I'm going to race through them kind of quick. So I just want to tell you that we will go through the main competitors after I race through them. Horizon League, Youngstown State is 2-1, Oakland plus 230, Wright State plus 240, IPFW plus 1,400 as well as Northern Kentucky. Green Bay plus 1,800, Cleveland State 2,000, Milwaukee 2,000, Robert Morris plus 25, Detroit Mercy 60, and IUPUI plus 60. Ohio Valley, Morehead State plus 160, Little Rock is 2-1, UT Martin is plus 360, Western Illinois 10-1, 20-1 is Tennessee State, 35-1, SIU Edwardsville, Eastern Illinois 11,000, Southern Indiana 11,000 as well. Big South, basically even money is High Point. I've seen this one fluctuate, so make sure you shop around on that one. I've seen it minus 125. I've seen it plus a little bit of money, plus 105 at Circa. UNC Asheville plus 3-1. Winthrop is 7-1. Gardner Webb is 7-1. 14-1 is Longwood. Presbyterian's 24-1. Radford's 40-1. UC Upstate and Charleston Southern are both plus 11,000. So you got the numbers all over the place, right? And here we go. Let's get into the Patriot League. Colgate, definitive favorite here. More than 2-1, minus 210. BU, plus 650. American, plus 750. Lafayette is 15-1. Lehigh is 12-1. Bucknell is 15-1. Navy, plus 85. Army, plus 150. Loyola, Maryland is 2750. And then Holy Cross is plus 75,000. Yeah, that's a big one. Southern, Samford, plus 170. UNC Greensboro 4-1. Western Carolina plus 550. Chattanooga 6-1, as well as Furman 6-1. Wolford's 15-1. Eastern Tennessee State's 22. Mercer's 55. Citadel is 150, and then VMI the same as Holy Cross, 75,000. All right, let's go to the Atlantic Sun. Eastern Kentucky's plus 130. Lipscomb is plus 275. Stetson plus 375. Austin Pay plus 775. Florida Gulf Coast plus 22 to 1. Northern Florida 18 to 1. Northern Alabama 20 to 1. Kennesaw State's 43 to 1. Queens is 60 to 1. And Jacksonville is plus 13,500. And finally, the West Coast Conference. I know it's not a smaller conference because you do have some big names there, but we're going to, two top 25 names, but we're going to include it into this grouping. Might just race through that one. But Gonzaga is minus 114. St. Mary's is plus 107, although they were ranked higher going into this week. San Francisco plus 1,300. Santa Clara 33. Loyola Marymount, San Diego, and Portland are all 20 to 1. 35 to 1 is Pepperdine, and the Pacific is the biggest on the board. One with 5 zeros behind it. So, yeah, look, we get into a lot when we're talking about these smaller conferences and these mid-majors, and you start to look at them, and you look at them with a different light when you're going into a betting perspective. But there's some value here. There is some value. The conference tournaments absolutely offer some value, because people just generally, the public just generally looks at the record and they're going to go with the guy with the best record. But you don't realize the matchups and nightmares, and we're going to talk about all of that. So let's start it off. We'll start it off with the Sun Belt, okay? James Madison is plus 120. App State plus 180. Troy is 5 to 1. Arkansas State is 8 to 1. I think that's the only really 4 that we really have to get into. And I'm not even sure it's that. Look, James Madison has the best record. James Madison plus 120. I understand jumping behind this. I get it. They absolutely look fantastic. They opened up, remember, the season with a win against Michigan State. That was awesome. And look, the Dukes have been fantastic in opening people's eyes up for a little while here. The Dukes absolutely have one thing that these others that don't, and that means anybody that gets into a battle with them, they control the pace. They control possessions. This is what they do, right? It's a turnover-heavy team. They basically take care of the ball, right? If you're a football fan, that's what they do. They don't turn it over and they cause turnovers. I mean, that's really what they are. But don't count out App State at plus 180. Look, the Mountaineers are the best defensive team in this conference. And defense does still win championships, right? I mean, that we know defense still wins championships. I think it's going to be tough to go underneath the basket here. This is not an easy task for them to kind of get underneath the basket and James Madison to, sort of inflict their will that they often do. Look, will there be turnovers? Of course there's going to be turnovers. You have to just kind of bake that into what you're doing as far as getting into turnovers. But when you're talking about the overall number and you're getting a plus 180 back, yeah, James Madison starts to become a team that I don't want to say you want to bet against, because James Madison is a very good team. But I'm starting to sit back and I'm going, yeah, I think that there's more value in an App State. Troy is the only other one that you might want to throw out there. And I made a lot of money with Troy. Troy was on a we don't lose at home kind of winning streak, right? Troy, they have been fantastic against the spread. I made a ton of money against the spread, depending on where you're looking and what numbers you got. They've covered something like 18, 19 games this year, depending on what you're looking at. That is absolutely fantastic. And like I said, Troy just wins and wins and wins at home. I just think that, getting away from home and having to kind of get into the away situation is not something I want to get into and take a stab, even though, look, the numbers will tell you what to do. I'm looking at App State at plus 180 or more, and you can even find them at 2 to 1. And I'm saying, yeah, that is a pretty good bet. I don't know if we're going to make it because I hate to look at James Madison across and be betting against them, but it's something I want to pay attention to. I did forget one conference here that I forgot about, the Big South. High Point is 120. UNC Asheville plus 350. Winthrop 7 to 1. I want to get into this one. Gardner Webb 8 to 1. Longwood 13. Radford 30. Presbyterian 30. Charlestown Southern is 100. And UC Upstate is just off the board. So I do want to get into this one. Okay. And just tell you, look, sometimes value lies where there's a big number. Okay, sometimes you could go back and you could look at something and you can say, yeah, I'm laying a lot of money, but it makes sense. It happens a lot of times in baseball. You get a dominant ace pitcher, but they're making you pay $250, $275. You might have to do a money line on certain games. Yeah, here we go. You're grasping at straws, but if it's a win, it's a win. I am not shy to lay more than 2-1 on a game. And in this spot, Colgate is minus 210. I just don't understand how you could go against Colgate. I really don't. Look, this is one of the ideas that the top 2 seeds have won 30 of the last 33 tournaments. The top 2 seeds, let me repeat that, have won 30 of the last 33 tournaments. And 2 of those years, the 4th and the 3rd seed won, right? And then you had in 2016, crazy Holy Cross as a number 9. Lehigh might have a chance. I've seen people tout them. Look, guys, it's Colgate. It's Colgate all day. They're looking for their 4th straight conference tournament win. They are the best team in this conference by far, okay? Braden Smith is fantastic at guard. They have big men in the middle. They're a complete team. Their offensive efficiency maybe wasn't what it once was, but their offensive efficiency is the best in this conference by leaps and bounds. Their defense is probably the best in this conference, more than likely by leaps and bounds. Now, you could turn around and tell me that, okay, American might have a chance because American's got a scorer that is just fantastic. I mean, the guy can score from anywhere on the field. I get it. But I'm going Colgate. Colgate might be my best play of the tournament. And yeah, I have to lay 2-1, but I just love Colgate that much. Let's go to the Patriot Conference Tournament. Here we go. The Patriot League. Oh boy. Patriot League is an interesting one this year. The Patriot League is a conference that you look at, and I have to dig into this a little bit with a smile because you know the Colgates of the world and the BUs. I know what you're going to hear from other people, but I'm sorry, it's Colgate, right? It's Colgate. Let's go to Southern. Sanford, UNC Greensboro, Western Carolina, Chattanooga, Furman all sort of have a chance here. I think that people are on Furman at 6-1. I think that Furman is the team that people are looking at and you're going, okay, well, that makes a little bit of sense. The Furman has, the feeling right now. They have a good 1-2 punch on their court. People are jumping onto Furman for that reason, and I'm going, I don't get it. Look, Furman's a good team. Chattanooga, I would have been my team, but Chattanooga just a couple of nights ago against Western Carolina lost, and they got manhandled in that game. It was a game I actually bet on. I lost, okay? How many handicappers are going to tell you that they lost? Look, Western Carolina went in there and won that game. Western Carolina's now beaten Chattanooga back-to-back games, their place and at home, and they basically controlled the tempo in both games. Carolina could be a live dog. Greensboro makes a lot of sense. Look, Sanford is the team. I get it. I understand that Sanford makes the most sense here. Greensboro is a tough one. Western Carolina could do it. Maybe if Chattanooga gets their game back to where they once were, and Furman has to be in there. Hey, look, I'm not even counting out Wofford, who has the pedigree down the line. So, in other words, I'm staying away from the Southern. If I had to pick it, I guess I'm going chalk with Sanford, but Greensboro is real intriguing to me. West Coast Conference, I just told you, we're going to breeze through this one because, let's be honest, Pacific, Pepperdine, Portland, San Diego, Loyola, Marymount have no chance. I don't even think Santa Clara has a chance. So it's San Francisco, Gonzaga, and St. Mary. San Francisco has lost 4 games in the last month or so to Gonzaga and St. Mary's. They're 0-2 and 0-2 against them. As a matter of fact, you go look through San Francisco's schedule and you go, maybe they can get an at-large bid. They have a lot of wins. They have lost every single time that they had gone up against a team that is equal to or better than them, unless they're beating up the small teams. San Francisco is a paper tiger. I will be betting, not only will I be betting against San Francisco to not win this tournament, I'll be betting against them if they go up against Gonzaga and St. Mary's, and I kind of don't care what the spread is going to be because they just have had zero success. And then you go into Gonzaga and St. Mary's. St. Mary's was a team all year long, moving along, and they looked really good. They looked good going into this week. And I have to ask people that are going to bet St. Mary's, how? How do you bet them? Look, they may win, and if you want to pull off, that's fine. How can you bet St. Mary's knowing they're going to have to go through Gonzaga, which they have never done? Everything was set up for them this week. This past week, they had Gonzaga at home, national TV game. They were ranked higher. You could knock Gonzaga outside the top 25. There are people talking about Gonzaga might have been on the bubble. On the bubble. Okay, I didn't believe that. But this is what St. Mary's could have done. They could have slayed the dragon, put the stake through their heart. They could have dominated. This was their shot. They came out at home and they came out flat. Gonzaga was fantastic offensively. Gonzaga was fantastic defensively. Gonzaga did everything that you wanted to do. Look, I have been pulling for St. Mary's for years because you kind of want to see that underdog go. But you can't go out there and put your money on them. You just can't. Maybe root for them. Root for them here, right? But here we know Gonzaga makes the most sense. And they're basically even money, minus 114. They're basically even money. I would not be surprised. By the way, Gonzaga's going in with a winning streak. All right, they won 9 games in a row. I would not be surprised to see Gonzaga roll this competition. And all of a sudden, we go into March and we go, Gonzaga, could they be a Sweet 16 team? Could they be an Elite 8 team? Are we sleeping on Gonzaga? It wouldn't shock me at all. Let's go to the A-Sun. Eastern Kentucky, Lipscomb, Stetson, Austin P. Look, I know people are going, Florida Gulf Coast could win on their home court. No. North Florida, Northern Alabama, Queens. Queens has an offense, but they don't have any defense. And that's really kind of the case of this entire conference here, right? Lots of offense, no defense. Lipscomb just doesn't do it for me this year. I see the allure of the plus 275. They've been very inconsistent. They're not a team that's gelling at the right time. They're not. There's nothing there that tells me that they can get over Eastern Kentucky, other than that Eastern Kentucky does have major defensive problems at the time. If you're going to take a shot at anyone, I'm taking a shot at Stetson, who has been really good this year overall. They've been generally consistent. They've played tough against tough competition. If you're going to take a shot at something, I'm taking a shot at Stetson plus 375 instead of Lipscomb plus 275. The Sun Belt Conference I told you guys about, Horizon League, Youngstown State, Oakland, Wright State are all 200, 230, 240, all right there. And then you have the major drop-off to 14-1. I don't see any of the 14-1 or higher. Detroit. One of my best bets, you guys want bets for the tournament, one of my best bets was team total against Detroit. It's going to be set at 80. Let it be set at 80. I love that. Another team total that I loved here, Wright State scores plenty. Youngstown State scores plenty. And Oakland always had a history of scoring plenty, although their defense got a little bit better this year. So if you're going into this tournament, look, bet against IUPUI, bet against Detroit Mercy, bet against Robert Morris. This is the bet against tournament. But Youngstown State, Oakland, Wright State, look, I'll take Wright State plus the 240 just because I think that they are battle tested. I think that they have the name recognition. But would it shock me if Youngstown State or Oakland won that? Absolutely not. Would it shock me if one of the three didn't win it? Yeah, it would. I don't think a 14-1, 18-1. You see the big numbers and you see the allure. I don't get that allure. Big South, High Point, Asheville, Winthrop, Gardner-Webb. I touched on this briefly. Look, this is high points all the way. I know Asheville has the guy in the tournament that we all watched last year, the name that the public knows, and that's why they're 3-1 instead of 5-1 because people expect Asheville. High Point has been a scoring machine. You like team total overs? Here's High Point, a scoring machine this year. I don't see that the tournament is going to slow them down. They know these teams. They have ramped up their offense against these teams. Gardner-Webb is one team that maybe defensively could kind of give them a little bit of problem. Radford at times, but outside of that, I mean, look, I'm penciling High Point in for a team total of 90 every night in this conference, and that means, look, at plus 105, I sort of like them at even money. Ohio Valley then comes next. Morehead State, Little Rock, UT Martin, Western Illinois. Yeah, Tennessee State's out. Western Illinois, I don't even buy into. UT Martin's won. The Skyhawks are a team that has made me a little bit of money this year. Morehead State, everybody loves. I'm kind of liking Little Rock. I think that people underrate what Little Rock has done and done in this conference. They've had tremendous success in this conference. This looks to me like one of those teams that they should be the favorite, but because they don't have the name recognition, people know Morehead State, they're going in the wrong direction here, right? They're kind of heading down. I saw 220. Look, if you could get a 220 or 230 on Little Rock, that's a bet. So I'm liking Little Rock. I don't love them, but I like them. I do like High Point. I think High Point wins that conference. I'm staying away from the Horizon. I would take Wright State, but I'm staying away. I'll take a shot with Appy State, but probably, and I know you guys in Appy State don't like me to call you that, sorry. But I'll stay away from that. The Stetson pick is a long shot. Don't even know if I'd throw, even $100 on it, right? West Coast, look, Gonzaga. I like the Zags. I can't imagine how you could bet St. Mary's. You might lay off, but I can't imagine how you're going to bet that. I'll take a stab at Greensboro, but I will stay away from the Southern. And then the Patriot League, I love Colgate. Colgate to win the Patriot League is my favorite bet of these mid-major tournaments that are going off right now, as of right now. Now, look, We have more mid-major tournaments coming up, the Ivy Leagues, where you guys can go check me out at Believe in the Ivy League. I'll be breaking that down really extensively when that comes up, and then all the big tournaments. I will actually be recording live. I got press passes from the Mountain West tournament, so we'll be there. And we did put in for press passes for the WAC tournament as well, which will be in Las Vegas. So you guys will get my take right from the court itself. My betting take as well. No restrictions, no more handcuffs on this channel, so I can give you my plays and my takes. But Colgate's my team. I'll be taking Gonzaga as well. I think High Point makes a little bit of sense. These conference tournaments do hold a lot of value. They do hold underdog value. I get it. I don't see one that jumps out quite yet. There's none that jumps out to me just yet. You want to take a shot at 375 Stetson? I can't blame you on something like that. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you guys pay attention because we're going to be putting up these videos now more frequently. I'm back, and TomBartonSports.com is back. Go check me out at TomBartonSports.com. I got plays up just about every day. I'm hitting over 63% in college basketball this year. I've been absolutely on fire. January and February, 66%. So go check me out at TomBartonSports.com. I'll be back, and you can bet on that.